A user auditor is appointed to conduct the audit of a company, and this company has taken the services of a service organization. Service organization is in the nature of BPO, where they will take up the work actually here of the other company. They, for example, say payroll services or accounting services or recruitment services, some services they will provide. So when a company has outsourced its operation to another company, which is a service organization, as an auditor, what will you do? What are the aspects you will do for understanding the user entity, and what are the factors you will take into consideration to understand the user entity and the service organization? So user entity will outsource its work to the service organization. Service organization acts like a BPO, KPO, which does the services actually. So first of all, it's very important for the user auditor to understand the nature of services which are provided by the service organization. What is the nature of services the service organization is providing? That should be very clear. The second thing is that the nature and materiality of the transaction which is processed. What is the nature and materiality of the transaction which is being processed, or the nature and materiality of the accounts which are taken into consideration, or financial reporting processes which are affected by the service organization. Have you outsourced payroll? Have you outsourced accounts payable? Have you outsourced accounts receivable? Have you outsourced entire accounting system? So it depends upon what is the materiality of the transaction which is being processed by the service organization. That's the thing here. Now these transactions which are processed and the accounts which are affected by service organization will appear to be material. It will appear to be material in the user entity financial statement, and the nature of transaction may be significant in nature. So this you have to consider. So you have to understand the nature of the transaction, the quantum of the transaction which is being processed, and also what is the degree of interaction between the service organization and the user entity. The degree of interaction is important actually, because it elects what are the effective controls actually here over the processing performed by the service organization. Suppose there is a high degree of interaction between the user entity and the service organization, then in such case what happens here, the user entity will authorize the transaction and the service organization will process. So this is how it is actually. So if there is a huge quantum of interaction, then there may be an authorization which the user entity will be doing. That's the thing here. Also, we have to look into the significance of the services to the user entity which is provided by the service organization. What is the significance of the services? Also the user entity's internal control, and what is the nature of services which are provided to the user organization by the service organization. That's the thing. So what are the services which are provided? Further, you have to see the user manual, you have to see the contract between the user entity and the service organization. And the nature of relationship between the user entity and the service organization is also important. The contract between the user entity and the service organization should also be studied by the user auditor. Okay, so these are the aspects to be considered by the user auditor to understand the activity of a user entity which has outsourced its operation to a service organization. Okay, fine. So I'll see you in the next video.